On the November 3rd ballot is a referendum to provide $20 million in taxpayer money to the Greensboro Natural Science Center through bond financing.
The bond will do three major projects. It'll build the Carolina Aquarium, which is a 26,000 square foot new adventure through the story of water with lots of fish, lots of aquaria, caves, and weather experiences, a Mars experience. In addition, we take this 52-year-old museum that we're sitting in right now, completely gut it and renovate it. All new exhibits with human health and biology, science, technology, dinosaurs and prehistoric life. Then we take animal discovery outside, which we have twice as much space out there than people realize, and double it. And so we're adding a new aviary complex, a flight museum, red pandas, Komodo dragons, black bears. I mean, it's so much more. It really is a magnificent project over a 7-year period that will be a game changer for tourism, certainly science education, conservation, and all of that for Greensboro. It really is something that I think 5 years ago no one would have imagined we could have done in Greensboro. Everyone loves the Science Museum. Our numbers are up. You know, when Animal Discovery opened, our attendance went up 40%. It's really the economy. And will the voters want a very slight tax increase during this current recession? Since it's about over a 7 to 10 year period on a house like mine, and roughly a $200,000 house, we're talking probably somewhere between $6 to $7 it would be per year. But you also get this magnificent new facility. According to Dr. Broad's study, $20 million per year impact back to the community through tourism, sustaining direct and indirect 253 jobs, as well as a family destination in science education. A campus that's a zoo, an aquarium, and a science museum all in one. It'll be a first in North Carolina, maybe a first in the Southeast, and right here in the heart of Greensboro.
One major question that comes up is how will this bigger, better science center differ from the North Carolina Zoo, which is just a short drive from Greensboro?
Their theme are the continents of the world. Our theme is the adaptations animals have to survive in the wild. And plus, we're a science museum. They're never going to be a science museum. We have the 68,000 square foot inside space of chemistry, physics, biology, and all the adventures within that, all things you would see in a science environment. So we're a science museum, a zoo, and aquarium all in one campus, very different from North Carolina Zoo, and I think we complement each other.
The Science Center's plan includes 3 phases that would take place over a 7 to 10 year period.
This dry creek bed doesn't look like much. It's basically a runoff from a Lawndale, but it's still part of the watershed. And there'll eventually be a boardwalk we call the swamp walk. We'll clean this out, widen it a little bit, mitigate it, make it better water quality heading into the watershed for Country Park. Also create kind of a bog garden feel through it, so add botanical elements to it. And there's a lake down here, the pond, which will be kind of the signature feature of Skylife, which is one of the major projects in the bond to build a green hangar museum, basically the study of the physics of flight, where it's very science-oriented, but surrounding that are all the living aspects of it and the animals in flight, human flight versus animal flight. And that'll include the flight interactives, an actual thing that kids can get inside and learn how to fly. Then we'll do underwater flight with penguins. We'll do silent flight with owls, majestic flight with rehabilitated eagles, and that pond will be covered by a gigantic aviary, similar to the Gibbon exhibit, but smaller mesh and taller.
The Natural Science Center has had a good track record in managing its finances, only asking for bond money back in the 80s and in 2000. Since the bond in 2000, which funded the Animal Discovery exhibit, attendance has doubled. But can the center continue to grow and at the same time keep within its budget?
We watch every aspect of the project. We're there. We walk to every site. We will talk to every contractor. We bring board members in who are trained in those professions, and we have regular meetings, and we are very diligent. They may not like us for that, but we're very diligent in spending that money. But I think people understand that we're not a bad thing. We are goodness in its purest form for this community, and that's why I wanted these debates. I want to be able to talk about it because there's nothing to conceal, there's nothing to hide. We are who we are, we do what we do, and I think we do it pretty well, and we're getting better at it, and the tourism dollars will start to show. I just think it will be a game changer for this community.